Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. My name is Bill Jarvis with Jarvis SEO. We get you ranked on Google. I just want to start this off. I was going to go over one of my blog posts that I did recently, but before I do that, I want to talk about my website. We just updated the website. So if you want to go check it out, go to jarvisseo.co and yeah, check everything out. We got pricing on there. We have the offers. We go pretty in depth with some of our packages. We can also do basic SEO and some content suggestions. And then if you want us to do more of the legwork, we can do that as well. But yeah, go ahead and check it out at jarvisseo.co. Thank you for listening to my plug. All right, so today I was going to go over the SEO periodic table, but I also wanted to go, before we go into that, I just wanted to talk about some of the key elements that are part of SEO that's basically makes the foundation of SEO that people kind of get confused about. But it's very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's a simple process. There's a lot of legwork that goes into it, but the three basic parts of SEO are keyword research, content optimization, and link building. So keyword research, it's a huge part of any SEO campaign. It's basically the first thing you do is, okay, so which direction are we going? So we have to decide the direction that we're going. We have to point on the map where we want to be in our time frame. So there are things that are broad. So like if you say shoe store, you want to own shoe store. Somebody calls me and says, "Hey, Bill, I want to be top of the rankings for shoe store." And then I say, that's impossible. Let's go ahead and try something new. If you have a new website, a new e-commerce website, a new brick and mortar site for a business listing, there are keywords that you can use that go dig deep. They don't have a ton of traffic, but that's when you create your trench. They call it the SEO trench. So you find your very specific keywords by using modifiers and long tails. So those two things are, let's say we go into keyword research, and you know what, let me go ahead and talk about that here, maybe. And then let's say something like we do shoe store. So, intuitive search is going to say, shoe store in Woodfield Mall, shoe store Schaumburg, shoe store DeKalb, shoe store Joliet. So all this stuff, you see a bunch of stuff here that will give you some tails. So this is a short tail, shoe stores Schaumburg. So it looks like shoe stores, plural, is a big thing that you need to target. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have looked on Google and done that. Now I have a full suite of tools for looking up keywords and deciding, but it's a good starting point after you decide you have your list of 100 keywords that you think of on a list, and then you go into here, maybe look at intuitive search and see what are people actually looking at? What are the top results when I look at this stuff? So it's going to use your location. It's going to use different things like that. So if you're more local, if you're a local brick and mortar store, or you're e-commerce and you want to build out from friends and family, it's good to stay local as well, so that you can sort of get the referrals, and then you can build the sort of a national presence. Up to you with your process and your SEO specialist, what you want to do. And of course, I'm available, jarvisseo.co. So, maybe we do shoe stores in, let's say here, Tallahassee. Shoe stores in Tallahassee. Now, this gives me 3.5 million results. So that might be a keyword that we use, but let's go ahead and go to the tool and see what we could use. SEMrush is fantastic for this sort of thing. I highly recommend it. So you can say shoe stores in Tallahassee. Let me make sure on that spelling. Let's go look at that. Tallahassee, two E's. All right, so we do that. We look at the keyword and see what sort of traffic. So it looks like, according to SEMrush, the difficulty on this is 38%, which is relatively low. Cost per click, which is if you were running ad campaign for Tallahassee shoe stores, that would be 76 cents per click is estimated. But yeah, no, if you look at all of this, it'll give you ideas for new keywords. This is, by the way, SEMrush has a free trial. If you want to try it out, go to semrush.com and you'll be able to use this tool. So there's a bunch of stuff, and you get to see what sort of volume. So actually, shoe stores in Tallahassee is only 390, which is relatively a low volume. So that's a low hanging fruit. So that's another thing about keyword research is you don't want to you want to get the thing that's right in front of you. You want to get that keyword that's right in front of you. Now, that doesn't mean that you cut off all of the broad search terms. It's just when you're doing your link building and you're doing your and you're working on your presence, you want to do maybe those keywords, those specific keywords. So maybe you make sites that, landing pages that are shoe stores in Tallahassee. You get listed on the Tallahassee directory, sort of things like, and those are like sort of, I'm not going to say outdated, but they're not as effective anymore. But those sorts of methods still have a contribution, but it's not as much as it used to be. Um, yeah, there's a lot better techniques that SEOs use this day, but it gets pretty in depth along with like indexing, index now, search engines that work together. So that sort of thing gets pretty in depth. So after that, I would say that the best thing to look at is content optimization. So if you have content that's engaging, users stay on your page, users click your links on your page. Maybe you make a fantastic article and then you say, hey, go to another blog, go to another SEO person like me, or go to, somebody that's not in your area, that's not competition, but has the same idea about SEO. Say, hey, let me guest blog for you. I'll put some links in my article. You get to come over to my blog, put some links in your article, and you borrow each other's authority. Again, small impact, but every little step forward counts. It takes time, it takes patience, but these are little things that you can do to sort of get yourself out there. And if Google sees you everywhere, especially on authoritative user created content, that's Web 2.0s. If they see those sorts of websites with your links on them, they sort of get an idea of your authority. So if you have expertise, authority, and trustworthiness as a business, you want to show Google that. Google needs to see that. Google is blind to it at this point. So you need to show Google, I am an expert, I'm an authority, and I'm trustworthy. Now, the way that Google sees that is seeing you all over the place. So they want to see you on solid blogs, online publications for newspapers if you're local, that sort of thing. And those actually, just letting you know, for like local newspapers, I just want to say their print is kind of dying out. Obviously, that's been happening for 30 years. But you can go online, go to your local news source that you see articles about all the time on like Facebook or your social media, and go to their site. They have a part that says that you can suggest some news or suggest an article that they can do, and then maybe make it a human interest piece and just take copy and paste that to different news publications and see what sticks. Put your link in there, just ask that you put the key phrases that you need in there, keywords that you need in there, and they'll probably pick that up and put that in the article. And they do SEO, they know what's going on. So if you put it on there, they think it's going to get some views, they'll put it up there. So up on their website, I mean, on their publication website. So that's a couple different techniques, but that also goes into, so the biggest things to remember is that content quality counts. Content quality counts. You can't put crap out there and expect results. You got to have something of value. You got to actually give some advice. You can't just say, whoa, it's like say some obvious stuff and then put your put your links in there, stuff your links in there. No, that's not how it works anymore. You got to have good stuff. You have to have expertise. You got to have authority. You got to have trustworthiness. So big things about that. And then backlinking, that's the one of the founding blocks or keystones of SEO is link building. So you do keyword research. Now, how do you get the keywords out there? You link to your page or you link to the content that you want to link to with your keywords in and around the in and around the link. So preferably put it in the link, you put it around the link as well. And Google starts to pick up things, and they've been getting more and more sophisticated in terms of picking up what you're laying down, but picking up your links and making sure that they wind up in the right place because that's what they want. Simply Google wants to give the user what they're looking for, and you need to be the thing that they're looking for. You need to be like, if there's a shoe store in Tallahassee, I'm the one. You know, it's like you put that out there, and Google will start picking it up after a while. Um, but that has a lot of technical aspects as well as indexing your page, making sure performance is good, mobile first approach, a whole bunch of things that I can go on in a different video. But one thing I wanted to look at that will give me a good overview and sort of give you an idea of the complexity of the damn thing, the SEO periodic table. So these are a ton of factors that go into SEO. And the thing I love about this is that they give them an impact score. So, things that will hurt you, -5, things that will help you, +5. So I'll go into this real quick. I'll just go over each group and sort of give you an idea. Um, okay, so content is king. Quality is number one. Quality will get you very far. You have research, the keywords that people are looking for, and you put those in there. That's your research part of it to make sure that's part of your content. You don't just look it up, put it in a link and stick it in there oddly. You want that part of your content. You want that in your titles. You want that in your subtitles. You want that in your paragraphs. It's all part of it. Um, and then multimedia, get catching attention with pictures, videos, stuff like that, and make sure the content is answering some sort of question or solving a problem potentially. And then architecture, huge part of it. It's basically how they find you, how Google crawls. They call them crawlers. So they crawl and they find your pages, and they're able to find your pages. So you have to make sure your structure is correct on your website. Make sure you have the correct documents on there. Sometimes people forget that, and then they're like, "Why am I not ranking?" Because they don't know where you are, and they're not going to crawl your page if you don't have the right documents saying, "Please list my page." Um, and then Google has come out and said mobile is the priority. Mobile first. If you have a great desktop website and it's just a wreck when it comes to the mobile site, uh, then it was all for naught. You want to do mobile first. You want to make sure that mobile site has a great experience. If needed, downsize your images, make your lower resolution, make sure if you have JavaScript in there, and sometimes it's a page that is a pre-built. Sorry about that. Is a pre-built. You want to basically get. Sorry, you. I got distracted there. Basically, you want to make sure you're mobile first. You're mobile first in your structure of your website. Make sure that people can use your site on their smartphone, because if they can't, they're going to bounce off, and that's going to be bad for you for Google. So you want to make sure load speeds are great, health, performance. Make sure everything. Text isn't moving around when people go on your website. So, and I think everybody's experienced, when somebody's just coming out with a website that, content is a little bit, it looks pretty bad, but, you do you, bud. And then this one, let's see here, the actual HTML within the site, so the tags that you use, which if you're not familiar, there's an H1 tag, and that's probably the most important tag on your website. So it's titles there, and then you also want your schema, which is you turn your data into enhanced listings. So I won't go into it too much because sometimes the code makes people's eyes glaze over. Um, so reputation, biggest thing. I say this every single time. You gotta eat. E.A.T. You gotta eat. You gotta have expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. People want to know that you cite your sources. People want to know that what you say isn't just BS coming out of your mouth. Links. So linking is, and Google has come out that backlinking and linking is a great way of proving your authority. They say it's the top thing that they look at is you got to have links out there. You got to have links to your page. It is just the stone foundation of SEO is you got to have links out there. Everything else it adds on top of that. But if they don't see links, they'll crawl and they won't see anything and they'll say, oh, okay, we'll throw you on page 10. It's like, no, you don't want to do that. So user experience, intent, these are very important things. So user experience, like I said, with mobile, load speeds, everything like that, make sure that the keywords represent the intent that you're looking for. So if someone looks up, how to, if you're a shoe store in Tallahassee, if someone's looking for, you know, jobs at a shoe store, if you're not looking to hire anybody at the moment, maybe don't, focus that keyword. It's like, looking for a job in, Tallahassee for a shoe store. Like, well, nobody's going to look that up anyway. I think that you'll be on a job board, but whatever. My point being, make sure that the intent that you see within the keyword is the correct intent. So don't just target things to target things. You want to have the correct intention with everything you do. Toxins, big things, big things to avoid. So you want to, so cloaking is, don't show them false content. You're not supposed to put up there, content that doesn't actually represent your company because then it's gonna screw you up. So if you're an SEO guy, um, if you're an SEO gal, if you're an SEO person, like you want to stick to that realm. You don't want to be like, well, I do SEO, but also here's these weight loss pills. Like, and then you just like sort of stuff that in there. You're just kind of putting everything together and it's not good. And Google gets confused and will ignore you. There's schemes like buying links. People do this all the time. Buy links, buy like, 200 links on authoritative sites. Like, it's crap. It has minimum impact, and then also if Google sees you doing it, they'll dock you. Bad content like just automated generated content that's no good. Um, and then like malicious behavior, phishing, Trojans, obviously that's all black hat stuff. So there's niches like local news and e-commerce. Local SEO is basically if you're a local store or a local business with a physical address, brick and mortar. Google My Business is the number one thing you should be doing right now. If you don't have a Google My Business listing right now, just pause the video and go make one. It's free. Just do it. Just go to Google My Business. Go Google My Business, and you will be able to make a page. If you don't have one, make one right now if you have a physical location. I'm not kidding. So locations, you get reviews. Make sure that when you have a client, send some follow up saying, please, tell us how we did. Please, did we earn 5 stars? Did we earn 5 stars for your service? All right, and then NAP, name, address, and phone number. You want to be consistent. You don't say on one listing, the name of my shop is Sophia's, and then on another one you put Sophia's Nail Salon. If you're gonna stick with Sophia's Nail Salon, put that on every single listing, every single one. Google doesn't want to get confused. They don't want to dock you. But if you don't put the same name, phone number, address, okay? So that's everything that you need for local. And then we got publishing, which means you want to be on the top stories. You want to be discovered. You want to be able to, let's see here. So if you want to put everything, So for publishing, you want to catch the user. You want to be able to give the user an experience that they'll enjoy. So they want to be able to, you know, images, multimedia on your site. You want to be with publications that are credible, and that's another thing about publishing. You've got to have journalistic and you have to have journalistic integrity. It's no longer just news publications that need that. You need to, if you took some information from a source, cite it. Just put it at the bottom, just cite it. Or just put like a parentheses their name. It doesn't have to be like MLA, APA style. You just put a little parentheses. Just make sure that you're giving credit where it's due, and just make sure that you're being a good person and that you have journalistic integrity. It's super, super important. So e-commerce not really something I dive into, but if you have good architecture, like your buying experience is easy, your product descriptions are accessible, your merchant center, your inventory displays in the Google search. So if you don't have that set up, you should probably have some items that are popping up on Google specifically because that will help users. One, they don't have to visit your site in order to see the product. Then they can just see it on the top of Google and go straight to it. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Again, jarvisseo.co right there. Um, Go ahead and check us out. See if you need any help getting some octane into your SEO. Because if you need some jet fuel in your SEO just to get it going, I can do that. If you're having some issues with your website, you can hire me for that. There's a couple different things. Structure and architecture are my main things. Content generation is a big thing, and I can give you some tips on that. But yeah, just reach out. There's a chat function. You're going to be talking directly with me. So if you go on there, put in a chat message. If I'm not available, I'm sorry, but I will get an email with your information, and then we can touch base. But I should be available, so go ahead and go on my website, jarvisseo.co, and jarvisseo.co, and then check us out. Thank you so much. You have a great day, okay? And thanks for stopping by. Bye.